As we lead up to the release of your third studio album, The Weight of the Woods, is there a favorite lyric that you have on the album?
It changes quite a bit.
You did a really viral cover of Taylor Swift's Antihero, which the internet loved, but more importantly, Taylor loved. When you see her responding to your cover, what went through your mind the first time you heard that?
Truthfully, like, aside from her being this incredibly famous artist, it's just cool to me that I sang a song she made and she thinks it's decent, you know? Like, if I was doing a cover of anybody, I would hate if they hated it.
It's pretty incredible if you go back to the start of your journey and you're busking in the streets of Ireland singing to strangers, and like you said, you're just trying to get them to listen to you.
Totally. I would hope, you know, like I would hope it inspires anyone, you know, like anyone that wants to make music. It's just, there's so much at play to kind of put a career in, and you just ultimately have to not give up.
Why is the album called The Weight of the Woods? Welcome to another episode of the Spout podcast. I'm your host, Tamara Dia, and today we are joined by singer-songwriter Dermot Kennedy. What's going on?
How's
How you
going?
doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm very good.
Of course, yeah. We were just talking actually about you're in LA now from Dublin, and you're going to go to Nashville after this. So you're on this musical journey as we lead up to the release of your third studio album, The Weight of the Woods, which is out March 27th.
Exactly.
How are you feeling? I mean, as an artist, you have this big project about to come out. You're kind of moving through the space right before that. Like, what's in your head? Like, where's the mind space?
It's a good question. It's very hard to kind of, it's quite a strange feeling. You feel like you're on the edge of something very exciting, and you're just impatient. You want people to have it, and I think you can't gauge how you have to let go to a large degree, you know, because you can't gauge how successful it will or won't be. So you just have to leave it alone. And it's the beauty of having such a beautiful process making the album, because you know, your conscience is clear. You're just like, all right, cool. Like, I'm just excited. So I'll see. Yeah.
I feel like artists nowadays, they'll put out a project and then they're still kind of tinkering with it, even up until the very last minute. Are you one of those, or when it's done, and you just kind of release it?
I do tinker until the end. And then also we were doing playbacks over here the last couple of days on these big, beautiful sound systems. And I was hearing things that I would change, but...
Is it too late?
It's
or are
far
you
too
like,
late. Yeah. It's way too late.
That's
so I have to live with it. Yeah.
The plight of a perfectionist, right?
Yeah. And it's okay. Like, it's stuff that wouldn't bother anybody else. So,
yeah. Well, Funeral is the lead single off the upcoming album. Let's talk about this, because in Funeral you sing, "We held a funeral for heartache. We buried trouble in the grass. We didn't bother buying roses because we ain't ever going back." Tell me about those lyrics.
I like them. I like sometimes for me it's often the act of writing the lyrics and then singing them can feel like two very separate things. Whereas with this song, like, the melody felt so triumphant and powerful to sing. It felt very easy to connect with those words. And I think for me, like, as a songwriter and as an artist, sometimes it can be tricky to live in the present moment, because you kind of, you know, like, songs and all your material comes from the past. You spend time there so often. And then as an ambitious person, you spend an awful lot of time thinking about the future and, like, I hope it does this and I hope I do this and da-da-da. So I'm not great at being in the present moment. So for that, it's just about moving forward. And like I don't know, I think it's important for me and the people I care about to not spend time wallowing on what's been difficult and what's tested us and all that type of stuff, and just to move on from it. Yeah.
I mean, goals, like, to be able to, like, think like that, because it sounds so easy, right? To let go of all these things behind you and just focus on the present.
Yeah. Of course. And I don't know, like, not to kind of be gratuitous, but like, it's a burden that as a songwriter I think you kind of carry with you, you know, like like when I play on stage, you're reliving all these memories as vividly as you can, because in my mind that's what makes me sing it in such a way that it means the most to that person who might not see you for 5 more years, that type of thing. So yeah.
Fascinating. So why did you choose Funeral as the lead off the album?
It was one of those ones, I think you might hear this from, like, artists quite a bit. Like, we thought the album was done, right? And then I went back to Nashville for, I think, 10 more days. And it was like, why don't we throw some more stuff at the wall and see what happens? And I think what's lovely about that is, you know, the record is pretty much done. Like, if you got nothing, it'd be okay. And so it gives you this lovely kind of feeling where there's less inhibition and you just kind of try stuff. And so that song showed up and it just felt very exciting. It felt very direct. It felt very kind of urgent. And I don't know, it just kind of put its hand up as the first single, yeah.
And this is the first time you were writing an album in Nashville, is that correct?
True, yeah. First time. And to be honest, the main reason for that was to work with a guy called Gabe Simon. I had no massive sort of draw to Nashville, but that's where he's based. And I've always kind of like, if I'm on my third album now, through albums 1 and 2, I've always been desperate for somebody who'll kind of really dig in with me. Do you get me? Like kind of like someone who can't stop thinking about it, you know? Like, and I think Gabe was the perfect example of that, like was committed to the process even more than I was at points, like just kind of an amazing commitment to music. And so I'm very glad I found him. I'm very lucky I bumped into him. And so that's where he is. And he came over to Ireland a bit and we kind of went back and forth. Yeah.
And for people who don't know, he's also worked with Lana Del Rey.
Yes.
And
Noah Kahan more recently.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, he's quite talented. So it sounds like the right person.
He's fantastic. Yeah. Just had a lovely approach to songwriting. We kind of had this thing where what can often happen when you go to work with somebody for the first time is they say like, what's going on in your life? Do you want to talk about it? Which I find very difficult because like, well, I met you 5 minutes ago. Like I don't mind talking about it, but the idea of like, shall we like delve into a song about that? It's crazy to me. And I can be quite slow to have that trust. And so, but I always have this notebook with me and Gabe just kind of grabbed it off me and started reading it, which is lovely because it takes the awkwardness away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine if you're like meeting someone for the first time and then you're like, here, let me unload my deepest, most personal thoughts to you.
Crazy. Yeah.
But it sounds like you guys did a really good job because I did listen to the album and it's quite beautiful.
Nice one. Thank you.
You know, the second single is Refuge. What can you tell me about that track?
That's one of my favorites, I think. We've been hashing that out as a band in rehearsals and stuff. And it just feels like a very beautiful song. It feels like it has a lovely feel to it. Yeah, that one feels very vulnerable to me. And we took a trip around Ireland and we went out to this crazy kind of ancient island / monastery off the coast of Ireland, and there's a lighthouse sitting there, and it used to be this monastery, and I don't know, just it feels like a song you can kind of hide inside. And for me, you kind of expose so much of yourself in these songs and that type of stuff. So this one just felt very powerful to me. It feels quite comforting, you know, to sing, and it's a tricky one to sing as well, but I guess all my songs are in some way.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't do myself any favors. Yeah, no.
I mean, it's a testament to your talent. I mean,
nice
the way you sing your songs, because like the rasp and the intention, and it immediately evokes emotion.
Right.
Especially the start of this album with the Weight of the Woods reprise, where it comes in with the choir.
Yeah.
I literally was like, I got like goosebumps immediately.
Nice. They're so good. Yeah. You know what I love so much about that is also what you could do in a huge. Part of making this album was comfort with imperfection, you know? So like there's parts of that where someone from the choir, there's a female voice on the back half and you can just hear them louder than anybody. And I love that because I don't even remember who it was specifically because there was like 20 of us singing, but I just love those little moments. And I think in a world now where music is so often kind of like, it can be like a cookie cutter style of like putting music out and it has to be perfect and so polished. It's nice to me to have little bits that we don't address.
Yeah, like the beauty and imperfection.
Totally. And I think, like we're fed so much like stuff that's like ridiculously kind of polished nowadays. It's just nice to do different stuff.
Yeah. How did you record 20 people in a choir in a studio?
It was a mic in a room essentially, but everybody had to take their shoes off because it was very like if your feet were in, you would make noise. It was really kind of like delicate, but it was beautiful because we went to a barn near where I live and the choir that's on the album is the choir from where I went to college. And and so it was just nice to see them again, and they're just this incredible choir. But they we worked on a few things, but then the snow started coming down, and it was like towards the end of making the album, and it's just a very beautiful memory that I think I'll keep for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds beautiful.
Nice one, thank you.
Did you sing in a choir growing up?
I didn't, and then when I went to college, I did music in college, so you had to be part of a choir, and there were multiple kind of tiers of choir. There was like the choir that you were just automatically allowed to be in, which is like genuinely about 100 people, so it would sound really cool, but you didn't have to be a good singer. And then there was the choir that we got for the album, which was the chamber choir, and that's like 20 people, and it's like this super kind of like Navy SEAL choir, and they win awards all over the world and stuff. And I got into that, but then I had football training Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is when they rehearse, so I didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of hated me while I was in college, but now we get to work together, which is nice.
So athlete and an artist.
No. I thought so at one point.
Why is the album called The Weight of the Woods?
It's called The Weight of the Woods because to be quite literal, there's this big forest near where I grew up, and it's a really key part of why I felt inspired as a child and growing up there, and the Irish landscape and all that type of stuff. And then alongside that, I have this weird relationship with doing what I do for a career, you know, because you're constantly talking about yourself, and it can feel really self-indulgent sometimes, I think, because you're just constantly like obsessing over your own songs, your own thoughts and your own lyrics and your own image. And so I quite enjoy, like, there's a lyric in that reprise, let me add to the weight of the woods. And I quite like that idea, like, of just, this sounds weird, but just like essentially when you die, like just becoming part of that landscape and just drifting away. I love things that make me feel small, you know, and I love the idea that we're just passing through, and it means the world to me, and I'll do my best and sort of give my heart to everything I do. But I do also like the idea it's not that important, you know.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that Refuge might be your favorite song on the album. Is there another track on the album that kind of stands out to you?
Yeah, the final song is The Weight of the Woods as well, and it's like a more fleshed out version of that. And then there's another song called Often Lately, kind of in the middle, that we've been playing live. There's a song called Endless. It's nice to be in this position and talk about all these songs quite fondly, to be honest. I feel good, yeah.
Awesome. And so you've already started performing them?
Quite, yeah, a little bit. We live, we took 2 of them and brought them on the road, yeah. Yeah. It was nice because, to be honest, I've been playing the same set list for quite some time, and so I want to give people something new, yeah.
So this is your 3rd studio album.
Yes.
How has your music and your songwriting changed from your first album, Without Fear, to Sonder, to now The Weight of the Woods? Yeah,
massively. I think, like, to be honest, it's funny because I think when you get a career, like for me, I had this naivety before I had a career, and I had this, like, I would almost say like arrogance. Like I knew I was good at singing and playing, but then you get into the industry and you're sort of humbled by it quite quickly, you know? And so for me, the first album was this very organic thing, but I had all these songs that I would just write, like these rambling songs with no chorus and no nothing. And it would, like, there'd be no hook. And then I came to learn that was quite an important part of making music, or can be. And then second album was that in spades, you know, it was really that direction. And then I feel like you almost go too far to come back, and then I feel like landing on album 3, it just feels like the purity of before I had a career alongside everything I've learned along the way. Do you get me? So like it's these songs that are crafted better, they're kind of better put together and more direct and more powerful, but also kind of have that essence of before I kind of started caring too much. Yeah.
Oh, we talked a little bit about this earlier. I mean, you're about to put out your 3rd studio album, but you're already creating new music already. Is that right?
Yeah. It's a nice feeling because I guess for me, I've lived with this music for quite a while now. You know, like I started making it, I think June 24. So it's been a journey making it, but I think that's the nature of things now. And I think also there's a lovely feeling when you've got an album delivered and ready to go. There's a lovely feeling to making music after it, because, you know, it's as if you've kind of got a certain amount banked, so there's less pressure on it, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you go like, all right, let's start album 4, then I'll start thinking like, oh, it has to be this good and it has to do that. Yeah.
Oh, so you just feel freer to create in
I
this
think
space?
so. Yeah. Like if I go to Nashville now and don't make anything of any value, it'd be weird, but it wouldn't kill me, you know?
Yeah. You did a really viral cover of Taylor Swift's Antihero, which the internet loved, but more importantly, Taylor loved. She tweeted about it saying, wow, absolutely love this.
Wild, yeah.
She's also called your music poetic and your songwriting poetic.
That's crazy, yeah.
When you see her responding to your cover, what went through your mind the first time you heard that?
Truthfully, like aside from her being this incredibly famous artist, it's just cool to me that I sang a song she made and she thinks it's decent, you know? Like if I was doing a cover of anybody, that's just the basic requirement. I would hate if they hated it, you know? So it's nice to me that she liked it. But yeah, I mean, those things, it's like, what's cool is, I guess, as one of, if not the biggest artist in the world, it's like, I guess she'd be fully aware of the influence that can have when she kind of co-signs somebody or like mentions them. So yeah, I appreciate it.
Have you guys talked directly?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
what was it about? I can't even remember. We emailed briefly about a song, but no sort of like nothing in great detail. It was just chatting.
About one of your songs?
About one of my songs, I think so. Yeah.
What song was it?
It doesn't exist.
Oh,
it never came out.
Why not?
It turned out I didn't like it that much.
Wait, so Taylor liked it, but you didn't like it?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe you should revisit that song.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think there's a few songs I could revisit.
You did also perform with Bryan at Hyde Park. What was that moment like when you first stepped onto that stage?
It's just nice. You know, I've learned a lot from watching his touring environment. I think for me, through touring the second album, you kind of you when you reach arenas and that type of thing, I think it can be easily led in terms of thinking like, oh, the show has to be like this, or we have to put on this kind of performance, and I have to kind of like perform like this because there's so many people here. I have to keep them engaged. You know. Whereas with him, it's quite a pure thing, and you see him playing to like 70,000 people, and there's no click track, there's no like playback, there's no sort of like fake vocals. It's literally just he starts playing on the guitar, and the crowd adore every single song. It's it's an incredible thing to watch. Like every single song. The first time I saw him playing was in Australia, and the first time I sang with him, and the crowd were just like locked in a way that I haven't really seen in a very long time. So it's quite, it's quite an inspiring thing to see how they approach a live show, and to know that it's enough just to play the songs,
right? Instead
of thinking like we need this happening and that happening. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you guys first connect?
Can't remember. I think it's funny, you know, when I met him in Australia, he sort of said he'd been a fan of my music for a while, and he had the lyrics to a song of mine called All My Friends that he had posted genuinely, I think 10 years ago, while he was on deployment somewhere. And so that was insane. So I guess he liked my music back then, and we were just in Australia at the same time, and I reached out. I had heard something in the Orange and those songs, and he just said, would you come up and sing? So now it's become a bit of a thing. Yeah.
Sounds like a good thing. You previously said that you would love to collaborate with J. Cole, which feels like very left field.
Same as everybody in the world, but I'm such a fan.
Right. Yeah. No, but I'm saying like it seems like kind of a left field answer when people ask you like, why J. Cole?
I would like to be left field. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to singing songs that are acoustic, I'm not trying to be any kind of way, but like I know I can tick that box. Do you get me? So like it's fun to think that you could work with somebody who does something I can't do. And from a songwriting point of view, I'm just a fan. Yeah, like it's in so many ways. Just like I find him so inspiring as an artist, as a person. I find it quite reassuring that your career can be that big without having to like compromise and play any type of game. It's just like if you're that talented, people will admire you.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge J. Cole fan. So when I read that, I was like, heck yeah.
He's fantastic. Yeah, the new album is brilliant.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, J. Cole is on this side of the field. Who are other people that you would like to collaborate with?
My favorite artist of all time is Bon Iver. That to me is just the best music and I guess it's the same for all of us, right? Like certain music finds us at a certain time in our life. So when I was 19, the second album came out, and it was just, it was just my favorite thing I've ever heard. So he's top of the pops for me.
Yeah. Who are you listening to right now?
Right now. Do you know who I love? I love two new rappers. New is maybe harsh because they've been around for a bit. One is Ray Vaughan, who I think is based here, who's signed to TDE, Kendrick's label. He's amazing. Another one is Lil Russell. Have you seen him?
I haven't.
Crazy. Just signed to Rock Nation, but has just developed the most amazing kind of community and infrastructure, and like does shows. I don't know if he does them anymore, but was doing shows in like his backyard in Vallejo, and just an amazing artist who kind of has built this huge career truly on his own and does amazing things. I think like just gives back to his community and is like puts out like an album a week. It's crazy. Like his not that prolific, but like that type of thing. Like I saw an interview where he's like, I've done 35 albums, and like he's relentless, and it's just a beautiful kind of thing to watch. So the two of them are, I like them.
It's kind of fascinating that you pick two rappers that you're listening to all the time. It's such a departure from your style of music.
I think I like to get I think I spend enough time in my own head writing songs and lyrics. It's nice for me to just go to a different genre.
Yeah, that's so interesting. You do have an upcoming sold out tour date in London's O2 Arena.
Right. You
also are set to headline 2 nights at Aviva Stadium in Ireland, which makes you the first solo Irish artist to ever do that.
Yeah.
What's that feeling like?
It's one of those ones that you don't know what it feels like until you're doing it. It's crazy. I never sort of like to spend too much time going on about my own journey. But
that's what you're here for.
No, I know. And if I do think about like playing music in the street of like in Dublin, with people ignoring me all day, then to playing in the National Stadium twice, it's it's a lovely thing, and it's a lovely thing to have experienced and to be part of, and just proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible if you go back to the start of your journey and you're busking in the streets of Ireland, singing to strangers, and like you said, you're just trying to get them to listen to you.
Totally. I would hope like I would hope it inspires anyone, like anyone that wants to make music. It's just like, obviously it comes down to talent and to doing whatever, but like really, like when I played on the street for years, no one could look back and be like, oh, I knew he was going to do that. Like, you know, you're just doing your best all day. And ultimately, not in a bad way, but like people are just walking past all day long. And I sounded pretty much the same way I do now. Do you get me? So there's so much at play to kind of put a career in. And you just ultimately have to not give up.
Did you believe in yourself?
Yeah, always. And I don't mean like I wouldn't talk about it, but it was very quiet kind of sort of understood thing in my own body. You just, But also I was never kind of frustrated. I was never kind of like, oh man, like I wish I could do this and I wish I was doing this. There was, you know, I would feel frustrated sometimes not getting gigs and all that type of stuff, but I was never kind of like, when is this going to happen to me? I was making music, and that's a lovely thing to do.
What was the turning point for you?
First time I started selling out shows, I was in a band, and then that split up, and then I started doing my own kind of small club shows, like 200, and then I did one in London to like 50 people. And after that, I did a show in New York. This is all before record labels and all that type of stuff. And I did a show in New York and LA, and they both sold out real quick. And truthfully, not even joking, like I feel like playing the stadium in Dublin and playing shows like Red Rocks and all that type of stuff, like I really do feel like I'm still building on that moment. Do you get me? Because I think one of the hardest things in the world is to get people into a room who actually want to see you do what you do. Because that's, you know, like you can say, I don't care about streams, I don't care about social media, I don't care about all this stuff. But like, how many people actually show up to like pay for a ticket and buy merch? Like that's when you know people care about what you're doing. And so I feel like to this day, I'm building on those first shows, definitely.
If you could go back and tell the younger version of yourself that was standing on the streets of Dublin busking anything, what would you tell him? Yeah,
just don't give up. Like it does, it literally does. And yeah, it's just, you know, I always like that idea that it truly is simple. You just keep on doing it, and just don't be discouraged. I think, but to be honest, like that never goes away. Like I went from busking to playing shows, and I went from playing shows to like records, doing things like on gold and platinum and all that stuff. But it's like you always want the next thing. Do you know what I mean? You always feel like you have to be patient in a different way. So the only thing that's going to serve you in the long term is having sort of creative values and principles that kind of fulfill you properly. Because in that way, like if I had a gig tonight playing to 20 people, I'd be really excited. You know, like that shouldn't change.
Yeah. What's the next thing for you?
What's the next thing for me? I don't know. The album. I've got my plate full. I got enough going on.
Well, you said you're always like kind of looking for the next thing. So what's that next thing?
The next thing is like trying to find those values and settle on them myself, because like all through album 2 and for a long time I was so focused on like you have to do so much work and you have to do this and you have to tour more than anybody else, and it's exhausting and truthfully doesn't tick the boxes I'm trying to tick. I'm trying to make good music, you know, like no one cares if I do 100 shows or 200, you know, like people just want to hear good music. And so trying to find that, like we did a tour last autumn and it was all through the States and Europe, but it was the smallest venues I played in a long time. Now it's still beautiful. And I think what's interesting is like an intimate tour, and it was small venues, but like busking me that I'd play to 3,000 people in LA and call it a small show is crazy to me. So, but it was very fulfilling, and I was kind of like, oh, like theaters where it's dead quiet and people hang on every lyric, that might be my favorite thing, you know? So then, so is the ambition then definitely to play stadiums? But then there's definitely a way of doing that too. Like I've seen people playing stadiums and it's the most poignant, delicate thing ever. So yeah, I guess you're constantly pursuing different things. Yeah.
I think as an audience member, I've seen, like just for an example of like a huge artist, I've seen The Weeknd play at the Forum here in Los Angeles, which is a huge venue. Yeah. I've also seen him play at the Roxy, which is a really small venue.
Yes. Yeah.
So from the perspective of an audience member listening to someone that they love sing, I love the smaller venues because like you said, it just feels so intimate.
I think people do like them. Yeah. But then also like not even trying to be funny, like at some point you have to consider that this is my livelihood, and touring those venues is...
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, this was a treat, obviously. It was
of course. And I love it. It's a treat for me. Because like as somebody who writes these lyrics, you know, you like to be in a room where they feel appreciated and respected. It's a nice thing.
Yeah. And it's amazing that you're appreciated and respected in the small rooms and the big rooms.
Definitely. Oh yeah. Like I would be a sad man if I went back to those venues and I couldn't do that anymore, you know?
Yeah.
That would be bad.
How did you become good friends with Jimmy Butler?
He posted a video of him in Brazil singing my song Outnumbered. And I was just like, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And but it was fully like, it wasn't just like sort of candid footage. It was like him really like singing it.
Yeah.
and so yeah, I just reached out and kind of been friends since, but just an incredibly generous and kind of supportive person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Loves music, adores it.
Were you a basketball fan? Or?
I was, yeah. And yeah, like sports is a crazy thing for me. Like I feel like I'm more invested in that than music sometimes. But he just, I find him very inspiring in the way that he goes about his business. And like in sports, we think like music has opinions, like sports is crazy. And so I think it's very inspiring how he just isn't affected by noise. I think it's incredible.
Yeah. So obviously the World Cup, speaking of sports, the World Cup is coming. Are you going to come watch?
I would love to, yeah. But I would love Ireland to be in it. And that's TBC at the moment. So
right,
we'll see,
yeah. Who are your other teams?
In the World Cup?
Yeah.
Nobody. Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about just, I mean, do you watch Premier League? Like what other?
I do. I watch Man United, yeah.
Oh,
United would be the team, which is nice because up until recently that was the sort of thing where you'd say that and people would be like, oh,
yeah, well,
sorry to hear.
Because they were, well, it's because
they were struggling for a long time. And to be honest, they've only not been struggling for like 3 weeks. So we'll see.
I'm an Arsenal fan, so.
That's good.
I mean, it's good, but not, I mean, we're on opposite sides of the spectrum here.
But it's also quite a healthy rivalry. I think they really, like back in the day, the games used to be
so good.
Ferocious.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's funny. So if someone was just now discovering your music, like they're clean slate, they don't know who you are, and they're like, all right, I want to see who this guy is. What song would you send them to be like, this is quintessentially Dermot Kennedy?
There's a few. I would, just because you asked me, I would say there's a song called Lucky that I made that I love that one. Yeah. Yeah, I would send them there. Lucky, An Evening I'll Not Forget, Dancing Under Red Skies. Yeah, there's a good few.
Yeah. And then obviously this album is going to be out March 27th, which is very soon.
Yes.
Is there a favorite lyric that you have on the album?
It changes quite a bit. There's a song called Trepidation on the album, and it has a lyric that says, I'll believe in this enough for us both. And that's one of my favorites. I like, though, there's another one, there's a song called Endless that has the words Mustor in it, which is Irish for my darling. And I quite like that I've always liked the idea of putting Irish in songs, but it can sound really corny very quick. So it's nice that it doesn't. Yeah.
I like it.
No, it's okay.
Say it again.
Mustor. It's like M-O and then space S-T-O-R, but the O has a little accent on it.
Mustor.
Mustor, yeah.
I always like when people put their culture in their music.
Definitely. And I think, I don't know, like I think being Irish is something I'm very proud of, and I think our musical heritage is very powerful and all that type of stuff. So I'm proud to be part of it, yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm sure Ireland is proud of you too.
I hope so. Nice one. Thank you.
All right, guys. The album is out March 27th. Be sure to check it out. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Appreciate it.